Did you know it doesn't always take a massive renovation to increase the value of your home? It can be just the smallest little tweak, like painting your home and giving it a fresh look and smell that increases the value beyond what you ever would have imagined. So stay tuned. In today's video, I am going to give you some of these insights on what it is that's going to increase the value of your home from just a mediocre price that you'd be okay with to getting that extra value for your dollar. And these tweaks, keep in mind, these are tweaks that are going to put money in your pocket at the end of the transaction, and that is the most important thing when you're thinking of considering moving. Now stick around till you get to that pricing strategy, because there is nothing more important than pricing your home properly. If you priced your home incorrectly, you could be doomed from the day it hits the market, and then regathering yourself and repositioning yourself for a proper sale is going to become super difficult in the future. And if you'd like to book an appointment with me to go over a strategy, this video will go over some of the most important things, but you might be thinking, I need to move soon. Mike, come on out to my house. And if that's you, click the first link in the description. It is my Calendly link. We can come on out to your property, hop on a Zoom call, and get you into the market as quick as possible in order to get you the most amount of money for your property. Spring market's here. Let's make sure when you put your home on the market, you're showing at an 11 out of 10, not just a 7 or 8 out of 10. Let's get all the extra juice we can for your property. Now, something as simple as changing a light fixture or doing that coat of paint is going to be something that you are going to be thanking me for by the end of this video. My name is Mike Carpino. If you know, I cover the Greater Toronto real estate market, transitioning you from your first purchase to a home that might potentially be your home forever. So we need to really navigate this in a specific way. So we know the real estate market is competitive. It's always changing. It's ever changing, especially right now when there are a lot of things going on economically in the world. But we need to be very on top of the ball. If we are thinking of making a move, whether it's in the next 90 days, 180 days, or the next year, we need to understand what is happening in the market and what we can do to take advantage of that when it comes to selling our home. It's not as easy as reaching out to me and saying, let's sell my home, I'm ready to put it on in the next couple weeks. It's a matter of prepping your home to make sure you can achieve the highest amount of net value at the end of the sale. You might be able to sell your home for $700,000 today, but if you can get $720,000 and only put $5,000 into it, that is additional money that goes right back into your pockets at the end of the day. So you need to look at this not only as a sale, but you need to look at it as money that's going to be used for your next purchase. And that could be that cushion that really allows you to make your next home that final stop on your house hunting tour. My goal when our home is going on the market is to make sure your home stands out. We don't want it to get lost amongst all of the other listings that are in your local marketplace. We want to make sure that when somebody's scrolling through those pictures on the phone or clicking on that computer screen, that they stop and they really appreciate the work that you've done to prepare your home, whether it's the staging, the painting, some of those small DIYs, just like candles in the kitchen cabinets that have been refreshed or more modernized. These are things that are really going to catch the buyer's eye, and we want them to catch the buyer's eye so they are intrigued with your property here. So let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this video. Let's talk about the value. What can we do to increase the value of your home, but to minimize the impact on your wallet getting it ready from the listing standpoint? Now, the first thing we want to consider is, what is your property type? Are we selling a condo? Are we selling a townhouse? What kind of house are we selling? Obviously, we know what we're dealing with when we're sitting in front of each other, but the type of house you have and the type of renovations or upgrades that you're willing to do and are necessary to do are going to change. We'll start with a condo, for example. We are not going to over improve a condo to the point of it becoming unaffordable for that condo marketplace, because we know the condo marketplace is generally first-time buyers who are counting their pennies, really trying to get themselves into the market for the first time. So if we over improve our condo trying to maximize our budget, we might find ourselves dealing with a smaller buyer pool. So we want to be very cautious and cognizant of that specific situation. Now, if you have a townhouse, your buyer pool opens up. Anybody who has a condo might be looking to upgrade to a townhouse. That's perfect. We have two potential pools of buyers now. First-time buyers who can afford a condo townhouse or a townhouse. And then we have the condo buyers originally who are trying to move up into this condo townhouse category. So we have a wider range of people who are going to have money that they can actually put towards your property. And if you go from a condo to a condo townhouse, you can do more renovations and more upgrades to squeeze out more value. And the same will happen as you climb that ladder. If you're selling a townhouse and looking for a detached, or you're selling a detached and looking for a larger detached, there's more money to wring out and really capitalize on the sale of your home. So we need to understand it's not a cookie cutter situation for every single sale. Yes, paint will always help you. Small upgrades will always help you, but it really comes down to how much you're spending on these particular items and how much you expect on the return side of things as well. So once we've understood who our potential buyer pool is, we need to now consider the things to do before the property hits the market. Now, there are some essential things that pre-market we want to make sure we tackle. If the weather is nice and the springtime is hit, we want to make sure that that curb appeal is the best you can possibly make it. If your driveway needs to be redone, resealed, you might want to consider doing that. If your flower beds are empty, get those flowers out there, plant them early, start watering it if the weather does allow you to. Get some fresh planters, get a wreath on the door. If your door itself could use a nice fresh coat of paint, do it. It's just a coat of paint. Paint is one of the cheapest and best returns that you're gonna get throughout the exterior and the interior of your home. What I would do is I would stand on the opposite side of the street from your property. I would snap a picture. Look at it from a broad strokes point of view. If you were just walking by this house, what stands out to you that looks really good, that looks bland, that looks like it could use some improvement? Internalize it. Think to yourself, what would make this exterior pop more? What would attract somebody to click the next picture or to scroll to the next picture on your phone or computer? These are some things you really need to understand. When you live in a home, everything is the best because it's your home, you love it, but you need to look at it from a different lens. So take that picture, really look at it, and figure out what could be done to modify that home for yourself. Now let's take a peek on the interior of the home. What are some things that really are gonna add that value for you? 1 is bathrooms, 2 is kitchens, and 3 is general painting. If you walk into your house and it doesn't have a bright and light feel, we want to consider changing or altering some of the paint. So if you don't have light grays, light whites, or really good light fixtures that are going to give you that lighting, especially in a condo where you're limited to maybe 1 or 2 sides of your unit that actually have any exposure to light, we want to brighten these scenarios up. It can cost you $150 for paint, but the end result that you're going to get thousands of dollars in return for a light, bright space, opposed to losing out on that and just saving $150. To pay a little bit of money to have it painted, if you're going to do it yourself, it's much cheaper. If you hire somebody, you might be able to get it painted for $1,500. You will be able to see this return in twofold. Secondly is powder room and bathroom. The easiest way to spruce up these spaces is the lighting. Big, easy thing to do. $100, $200 for a nice new light fixture if yours is not bright. If your light fixture is great, change those light bulbs. Get them to be daylight, get them to mesh with the rest of your space and add that additional brightness that it's craving. For a lot of people, they want light and bright. They want to feel like they're not trapped in a smaller space, especially if it's a condo. Secondly, you want to potentially consider changing out your mirror or your vanity situation. If your mirror is old, maybe it's a medicine cabinet. I know personally we've got one and they're handy. They store a lot of stuff, but they're not the most appealing thing to look at. So what you want to do is make this bathroom appealing, make it more magazine-esque for that buyer coming in, and you're going to get a better return. Next would be those countertops. If you've got a linoleum or a laminate countertop, get a quartz countertop, switch it out. It might cost you $1,000. But if you did vanity, new lights, and a new countertop, you might be out of there in less than $2,000. And people are going to think you did a massive renovation to that bathroom. You're going to be able to get at least twice as much for that renovation in terms of your resale value. Potentially at this point, you could have done a mirror, some new light bulbs, and some paint. You might have done all that for $2,000, and you're probably going to recoup an additional $2,000 on top of that. So if we're taking numbers into account, you spend 2, you get 4, we're up $2,000. This sounds like a great scenario for me if I'm personally selling my house. And the next thing you want to consider is energy efficiency. In a condo, it's harder to consider, but you might want to think about new thermostat, maybe go with a Nest thermostat, think about the light bulbs that you're using, and just think about the overall efficiency of the appliances. If you're in an older condo and you have older appliances, generally they're going to cost you more for your utility bills. If If you're in a newer condo, you're probably very energy efficient as it is, and this may not be as relevant to you. This is going to be a small savings for a lot of buyers, but they are going to appreciate just a simple Nest thermostat that might have cost you a few $100. They're going to feel that upgraded lifestyle. You know, they can control things on their phone. Everything feels more modern. So it may be worth it. Out of the three, that would be my lowest priority though. Now I've mentioned it in the beginning of the video, but one of the things that I've personally done to one of my properties and added a great value return was the kitchen cabinets. So if the kitchen cabinets are either older or not a color that is necessarily that appealing in your space, really redoing those cabinets or refacing, repainting those cabinets and putting new nice hardware on them can really go a long way. So you can go with something as modern as like a blue cabinet with a gold bar, or you can go with a white cabinet, which is traditional, and then you can mix and match what your handles are going to be. So if you want it to have silver and white or white and gold, you can really modify it based on what your space is giving you in terms of the vibe. So your light fixtures and your handles, you're going to want to mesh those together as well with your faucets that are in the kitchen. So you'll be able to pick out that style that works for you. I'll slap a few pictures on here of examples for you. This is another thing that's not going to cost you a lot of money for new handles and some paint down on the cupboards, assuming it's done correctly, of course. And if you need to hire somebody to do that, it might be worth getting the quote and seeing if the return will be worth it at the end of the day. Ultimately, anything you want to do to your place that I would recommend, we'll also go over these as you want to make these upgrades and see if they make any sense. In a lot of cases, I will tell you, yes, that's absolutely worth your money. And then some cases, if you get a quote for something and it's outrageous, we'll say you're not going to get your return on it, so you should probably just pass on this specific upgrade for now, or find a different quote and see if we can't get it done for a more efficient price. Now, doing any of these upgrades to your home, obviously they will visually enhance your space, which is great for photo, which is great for media. But one thing you forget to consider is if you have done the upgrades and it looks like you've really taken care of your home, it's going to extend into the buyer's eyes that you guys have been good homeowners. Everything beyond what they can see is likely also taken care of to the 10th degree. And this is going to put a lot of buyers at ease. They're not going to be as worried about putting an offer in on your home because everything looks good. Everything looks like it's upkept well. Everything is freshly painted. They understand that you've put in the time and the effort to get your property on the market in due time, but also to offer the best package for the buyers that are coming in. So it is worth it just in this one sense alone to know that buyers are going to be more confident engaging in your specific property if it looks like it's been taken care of. Staging being the next step here. So we've already done some of these simple renos and some upgrades. So we've painted. The next is that staging component. Are you currently living in your home? Is it a vacant home? Those are two big distinctions. If the home is vacant, there are a couple options. A staging company can be hired. They'll give us a consultation and let us know what they think they can do with the space to make it the best of the best for the property and make sure we can recoup as much money as possible for your home. Or you can go with the virtual staging option, which is essentially AI generated pictures with your space that would give people an idea of what the furniture would look like. Some people like it, some people hate it. So those are two options. Staging your home, generally if it's a condo, it's going to cost about $2,000. Some realtor packages, depending on circumstances, are going to include your staging fee, at least a consultation fee, so you guys can figure out that with your realtor, whether it's myself, we do offer staging packages, or if it's with another realtor, you want to just make sure you know what you're getting into, what offerings are out there, because staging can be very expensive, and if it's going to cost you $2,000 to $3,000 out of your own pocket, beyond that, you need to understand what the risks are as well. What if you don't sell for what you're expecting for, but you've also paid for the staging? Staging does sell homes. There's no question about it. You just need to understand if you've gone above and beyond what's necessary, or if we've kind of just hit that proper mark on how much the home needs to be staged based on the category we're selling in. If it's a condo, once again, our limited buyer pool. If it's a detached home, we want to have this thing staged to the nines because we want to stand out and there's more money to be recouped in our pockets there. Now, if you're not sure what staging is, it's actually more of a lifestyle. It's creating a visual for that buyer to come in and really get a sense of what this home could be for them. Because this home currently is your home. It's exactly what you want it to be. but we don't know every buyer that's coming in and what their life is like. We don't know if this house is already set up perfectly for them or if their family dynamic is something completely different. So the staging is designed to give us this outlook of neutrality for the most part, where they can really feel themselves living in this house, but not just that one buyer, every single buyer that steps into your property during that showing period. Staging itself is known to increase the effectivity of selling your home. You are going to list a home with no staging versus listing a home that's fully staged. You will 100% sell your home quicker if it is a staged property. This is only one factor that is part of this whole equation. Obviously, price is being an important factor of that as well. But if your home is staged and priced well, or if it's empty and priced well, staged and priced well will sell first. So if time is of the essence, we need to always understand that it might be worth the money that's put into the staging. I might have just hinted on this, but pricing strategy is the most important thing beyond those small little intro things that you can do, like your lighting, like your paint. Pricing your home properly can make or break your sale. There is no question about it. If we price your home too high, you will not get people through your door. If we price your home too low, maybe you think we're risking not getting enough for your home. So it's a tango. It is absolutely a dance of figuring out what your home is worth in the given market. This is obviously an ever-changing scenario, but the way we figure out what your home is worth is not just pulling a number out of a hat. That's not how we do it here. The way we figure out your home's value is by pulling up some of the comparable sales. Being the agent, we have a very neutral position. We can tell you honestly what we think your home is worth based on the other homes that have sold close by, based on the finishes that they offer, comparing to yours, and we are a neutral party, right? We don't live in the home. We don't have the attachment to your property that you do, so we're able to give you a real honest expectation of what you should think your property is worth. You may agree with us, you may not agree with us, but ultimately the buyers are going to speak when they're coming in and looking at your property with offers, or they will not show up to look at your property, and that will quickly tell us that we are overpriced for what the market is worth. You have to think not only what your property is worth, we need to know a strategy and how we want to play the market based on that price. So let's do this example here. Your home is worth $750,000. We are selling it in Brampton, for example. Right now, everything in Brampton seems to be selling for multiple offers. What that means to me as an agent is you should follow suit with the current marketing strategies that are working for other houses to sell quickly for good value. So we would want to find homes that are similar to yours in that comparable region and figure out where is that sweet spot. They're worth $750, but where are we listing these homes at? And it might be $699. Now as the seller, we've already had this conversation and you might be freaking out at this point. You might say, Mike, you told me it's worth $750,000. Why are we listing it at $699? Strategy. We would not be taking $699 if your home is worth $750. But the strategy behind all of this is have a lower listing price to intrigue more buyers to go look at the home. Maybe somebody's budget is only $720,000, but they see $699. So they're attracted. They really love your home. But there's also 5 other people who really love your home as well. You get yourself in a bidding situation. You got multiple people begging and fighting with each other to offer on your specific home. This is strategy. This is why the bidding wars are effective at certain times in the real estate market. If you are one of these top homes that's available, if you've done all this pre-work, if we've staged it, if we've done the pre-renovation things, if that exterior looks amazing, this is the situation you want to be in. You want to be the one home that everybody wants. So we price it slightly lower. We get these people, for lack of a better word, fighting against each other in order for you to get the most value for your home. And then, if you blow it all out of the water, if everything works according to plan, you get more than $750,000. Maybe you get $755,000. Maybe you get $760,000. Maybe you get more. But this is how pricing strategy is important. And if you don't want to get into the bidding war, then you have to price your home close to what that value is. So if you think $750,000 is the lowest you would take for your home, you're going to want to list it fairly close to $750,000. You don't want to go over that by too much and ruin the buyer pool from coming to look at you. So you might just end up at $760,000 and have a $10,000 buffer in your head. You have to sit down with your agent and see which strategy makes the most sense for you. You may not want to listen to your agent, and if that's the case, you may find yourself finding a new agent a lot of the time, because listening and understanding somebody who's in the market and what really matters in terms of the strategy is something that you should benefit from listening to and understanding as well. Now, choosing your strategy, it's always going to be the seller's choice. The agent cannot choose the strategy. We can recommend the strategy based on what's working. Honestly, the seller, you got to feel confident with whatever that strategy might be. And once you choose that strategy, it's time to head on over to marketing. And that is us. That is the agent. All the marketing is handled by us and our marketing team. So we want to make sure that we get that social media out there. If you're working with somebody like myself, you're getting a YouTube video for your property. You're getting a full walkthrough tour. You're getting a professional media tour, professional photography. You're also getting things like, what can you get for $750,000 in Brampton? If your home is worth $750,000, another personalized video. 5 reasons to move to Brampton instead of moving to Toronto, with your property being the focus. Why you should move to Brampton instead of moving to here. There are so many other things that we can utilize on the marketing side of things, just beyond having ads on social media, to advantageously get you a great price for your home and get so much exposure. Now, leveraging your agent and their abilities through social media, through their marketing, is a huge thing for you, because you want the most money that you can get for your home. Let's be honest, at the end of the day, and your agent is going to be paying for all of this marketing. They're not going to be coming to you to sign a check. This is stuff we do all out of pocket. This is part of our commission structure and why you pay us what you do to get your home sold for top dollar in the quickest amount of time for you with the most exposure. Now, marketing, it's a fine balance. It's not just about getting as many eyes on your home as possible. If that was the case, we would just spend thousands of dollars on ads and show them to everybody online and tell our clients, look what we did. That doesn't matter. For you as the client, what you want is for us to understand how to do marketing properly. If we know you are selling a condo and its maximum price is going to be $650,000, let's say, there's only a certain buyer pool that's looking for that. Why would we be advertising that to a completely different buyer pool? We need to strategically understand where we're marketing things and who we're marketing them to. So what have we covered today? We've covered marketing. We've covered strategic pricing. We've covered staging your home. We've covered doing that curb appeal, interior upgrades. We have covered a wide array of things you can do to capitalize on getting the top dollar for your home, but also being happy with the product that is being shown online for your home as well. The worst thing you could do is, say you want to move and just throw it up on the internet with dirty clothes everywhere, things not clean, none staged, and just hope for the best. You can do better than that. And we are here to help you do better than that. Ultimately, it is your decision how you want to sell your home and what you want to do with it, but you should want to get the most amount of money in your pocket so you can use it on your next purchase, or maybe you're retiring. If you're doing that, you want the most amount of money so you can do some more traveling. That is for certain. Now, if you're ready to take those next steps, my name is Mike Carpino. I cover the GTA real estate market here, and I would love to assist you making that transition from your first home to your next home. Using my Carpino Cares method, I will walk you through my 5-step process. And if you have any questions, and if you want to book an appointment with me and discuss what I can do to help you in this market, feel free to book an appointment. It's the first link in the description down below. It is my Calendly link. I'd be happy to hop on a 30-minute consultation, or even come to your home and personally go over what you need to do to get your home on the market the next 90 to 180 days. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next YouTube video. Bye for now.